What is going on YouTube? Hitting back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, I like to do a different crypto here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. So on that note, definitely make sure to comment your favorite altcoin or cryptocurrency that you'd like to see reviewed here on the channel. And I will be picking one to review in next week's episode for all of next week's videos. So definitely make sure to do that. More importantly, what we're going to be looking at in today's video is the recent surge of volume that's pretty much entered most of these cryptocurrencies in the past, I would say 3 to maybe 4 days at the latest. We saw Bitcoin pretty much shoot up from $30,000 to a high of $36,500, about a $6,500 move in the past week alone. And we've been seeing pretty much all the cryptocurrencies and altcoins follow suit and follow Bitcoin and move up as well. So what we're now starting to notice is a bit of a resistance level we're starting to hit across most of these cryptocurrencies. I've told you guys, for the most part, I don't like to trade inside sideways channels. I like to buy in at the bottom or the top. So I will be going in depth about that, as well as if you haven't already bought in, is it a good time to do so, or is it time to wait patiently for the next objective move and then buy in to either sell short or buy long? We'll figure it out. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And today's video is sponsored by Wavelength. So if you guys want to learn about a cryptocurrency project that's going to be potentially the #1 social media platform, one that wants to replace and fix the problems that happen within Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and make it even better and a way to reward creators in a better way, stick around to the end of the video. You might like what you hear. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. All right, so we are definitely getting some volume back into the market, and it's definitely nice to see that. Now, a lot of people, they're literally jumping at any sort of volume spike where prices are up double digits, and it's really nice to see that there are so many people just waiting now for movement to come back into cryptocurrency. A lot of people are just waiting at their computers for that volume to come back in, and they're thinking that we're still in a bull market, and we're still ready to shoot all the way back up to 60,000, if not all the way up to 100,000 within Bitcoin and some of these other cryptos. Overall, though, top 10 cryptos, everything is down about 2 to 3% overall. They don't really look too hot, if you ask me. So more importantly, I do believe we're ultimately going to maybe continue to correct lower. It's just we're having a little bit of difficulty as we're retesting some bottom supports. And I'll show you guys more on that, what I mean when we look at these cryptocurrency charts. You can see I do have XRP pulled up. I have Ethereum, I have Bitcoin, Litecoin, and the S&P 500, which is just pumping even higher, absolutely insane. But for XRP's chart, so really the dead giveaway, and we discussed this in the past, was resistance for XRP, which we talked about yesterday, was this downtrend right here. You can see for the most part, we were using this as a means of support, bouncing off of it, until we broke below it, where it acted as a downtrend for resistance. We came to this apex right here, bears broke us downwards, and we corrected all the way back down to bottom support, and have been using about the 60-cent support level for quite some time now to eventually head back up. Now you can see we're currently back to retesting that top downtrend right here, and we discussed that this wouldn't really make a difference if Bitcoin decided to break through its 40K resistance. If we came back up and broke through here, we'd probably see that same volume shoot us through and close us closer to $1. Now, it seems to be like resistance would be right at the cusp. Like if Bitcoin just broke through and retest maybe 38K, that would be enough volume for XRP to get out of that hole and swing back up to maybe 85 cents. And then eventually $1. Now, for those that are curious, what are the resistances that do need to be broken for us to buy in for a long to the upside? Obviously, for XRP, it seems to be about $1, and for Bitcoin, it's obviously about 40,000. These are two major mental barriers and resistance levels on these cryptocurrencies that just deem way too dramatic to buy into any time before that, anticipating a rally to the upside and holding on for a long term. So right now, what I plan on doing is, obviously, I'm not in the market. As you can see, we have had stop losses. We've discussed this yesterday. As we were moving up here, we thought we were going to hit this downtrend, this descending fractal, and it would stop us out. And you can see we almost did, but this candle wick yesterday pretty much closed us all the way back down. So that stopped me out from when I woke up this morning. which is fine. I do have to admit it was a very hefty run, and I'm not too worried in the slightest. But I do believe we are going to continue to consolidate now. As you guys know, I don't like to buy in inside sideways channels here because they deem way too risky for a conservative trader. So I don't like to trade in the middle here, and the same thing would apply myself to this level. Now, I've seen in our Discord group, and I highly advise some of you guys to join my Discord group. It's free, where we're finding resistances and supports, and people keep saying that there seems to be resistance right where the the middle is, right where it cuts through the middle, and it seems to be closer to about $36,000, $35,600. That seems to be a resistance level. Now, it doesn't seem to be that important because it's trading inside of our price ceiling and price floor. I understand it's right in the middle here, but I wouldn't trade from 31,000 to 34,000, 35,000. It's way too risky. We're not seeing much of a leverage, and it would be literally a get in, get out. It's more of a moderate to an aggressive style of trading, and for us, that's just not what I like to do. So realistically, what I'm waiting for right now is, are we going to have prices come back up to retest top resistance, or are we going to have prices come back down and retest top support, and then we're just going to do it again? If prices fall back down and we retest top support, we'll wait for the candle to either A, close above for us to buy in to swing it back up again, or we close below it and we can short it all the way back down to $20,000, which is coming if you guys haven't noticed, and I do believe that's still going to happen. Hopefully it proves me wrong, but I still believe we are in a downtrend and markets are still correcting lower. You can also see right now for the confirmations of this downtrend here, we look to have something like this. Now, these are only 2 confirmations. This is definitely not accurate. I'd like to see the way this plays out later on, but we do have these lower high formations. This could be considered the next lower high. It's not really on a downtrend that we're looking for. Usually it intertwines like that, so I don't think it's that accurate. But I do believe that we are going to, in some way or another, create another lower high. That's what we were looking for since the beginning of the correction to the downside for Bitcoin. You can see it right here. Ultimately, what I'd be looking for is the prices to correct back up, retest a level maybe closer to 46,000, and then correct lower, and that would be confirmation of the lower high formation, pulling us all the way down to what I would think would be an 80 to 86% correction, which would be closer to about, I don't know, $10,000 in that range, and I think that would be really where the bottom is for Bitcoin and some of these cryptos. So right now, I'd be patient. More so, I can see why we're correcting out is also because XRP is hitting that resistance level right there. Most of the cryptocurrencies are having some problems right now. Litecoin having its issues right on its support resistance level. We have XRP hitting its top resistance, and it seems like coins want to ultimately correct lower. So I'm not too worried right now. Markets are starting to reverse. We had the volume. It was great that we had this volume yesterday and the day before, but I think that's pretty much going to be a wrap for it. I'd be shocked if we headed up higher. I mean, if Bitcoin heads up and retests its moving average, it's going to send Ethereum hopefully above this uptrend here, which is currently acting as resistance, but we get back inside this ascending fractal, which would hopefully allow for bullish prices to move us to the upside. But we need to confirm some pretty bearish levels. There's a lot of lower high formations that need to be broken across the board. For Bitcoin, it's cleared that we need to break through its lower high. So let's say we confirm and we close. It's tough because I would consider this to be the lower highs right here. I'd only consider this to be 2. Let me know what you guys think in Discord and in the comments, but maybe some people consider this to be the 3rd. I'd like to say it's not. I don't think it would be the 3rd. I think it's still the 2nd, because I believe if we came back up and retested here, we would be able to draw a downtrend like this, and that would be 3 confirmations, 1, 2, and 3. I wouldn't consider the one right here to be a lower high formation. So I think we still need to come back up and rally and break through our prior high to then confirm bullish breaks to the upside. I mean, we are still on a bottom here. We can see where there is still an a sideways channel. It looks to me like we want to continue downwards. It's unfortunate to finish this rally and then pump back up. That would be ideal. We'll see, because we're only about, it's really not a big correction. And each bearish break we've had within crypto is not a 45% correction. It's usually like an 80 to a 90% correction. So that's what I'm waiting for. So right now, it's pretty much just been a recap of how the market's trading out. We're not in a position to buy back in. We have to let things play out for a little bit before we decide to jump back into this market. But all these cryptocurrencies, if you're in, that's great. but I'm starting to think we might see by tomorrow a small dip back downwards. And regardless, even if I'm wrong, I'd like to see Bitcoin consolidate out. Once again, I'm not touching the market until I see Bitcoin either retest the top bar right here or we retest the bottom bar. These are beautiful opportunities. We've bought in every single time. We closed here, good buying opportunity. We closed here and here. There are tons of bullish opportunities. Even when prices just retest it, that's a good opportunity to pay attention to it. Even when we retest top, it's usually signals of the opposite reversal. So let's see how we play out. If we wick below here and close above, we could buy in and leverage it to the upside. It's confirming that the bulls are still at play. So let it play out for the next couple of hours. Let's see how tonight forms, and we'll go on from there. Otherwise, let's talk about Wavelength. I want to give a huge shout out to Wavelength for sponsoring today's episode. So Wavelength is a project dedicated to the establishment of a truly connected and authentic social network. They plan to remove the most toxic elements of social media and allow users to interact in a more open and trustworthy environment. To achieve this, they will integrate the KYC protocol to verify their users. A comprehensive user verification will ensure that there are no duplicate accounts, no nameless internet trolls, and no anonymous users trying to manipulate the social media space in an unsavory way. Their social media platform will look to integrate their tokens on many different levels, including content creation, business sales, advertising, and online abuse and hate reporting. They will look to provide a platform on which people may interact safely while promoting mass adoption of their utility token. So another perk, unlike most social media platforms, Wavelength is ad-free, which allows users to choose what content to access and consume. They want Wavelength to be the biggest competitor to mainstream social media. They're the first of their kind, so they want to cover all their bases. As standard, there will be functionality to share text-based and image-based and video-based content publicly among friends or with selected individuals or groups. There will be private messaging as well, and users will be able to choose whose content they want to see alongside other features, which they will reveal closer to the time of its release. When the platform is established, 50% of its profits will be divided among holders of the Wave token, similar to the dividend-paying stock. Monetization of the platform is still being discussed, and while that goes on, they're pretty much just focusing on a way to target just user growth to their platform. It will operate on a tiered subscription service, free, gold, and platinum, with various features available with each service. So for Wavelength, that token is called the Wave token. The token is built on the Binance Smart Chain and will have various use cases on the future Wavelength social media platform, such as paying for access to exclusive events, tipping creators for making content on the platform, compensation for accurately reporting behavior that goes against their guidelines, and more functions will be introduced in the future. It is a BEP20 token operating on the Binance Smart Chain, and Wave is deflationary, meaning the total supply is finite and constantly in a decline. This deflationary model mimics a typical supply and demand graph, the theory being that as supply decreases, demand increases, rewarding holders in the long run. Similar to SafeMoon and Elongate BEP20 deflationary tokens, there's a 10% tax incurred on all transactions. This tax disincentivizes selling and funds several functions of their token, one function being liquidity pool reflection, which means a portion is deposited back into the liquidity pool to add to the total supply and stabilize the price of the token. A portion of the tax is distributed to all holders of Wave, as well as some being burned, donated to charity, or given back to the community and used for marketing. As usual, you can purchase Wavelength token on PancakeSwap by following the link in the description. Lastly, looking at the roadmap, you can see it has been broken down into pretty much 4 phases. Phase 1 has already been rolled out, and they are now finishing up Phase 2. If things keep progressing forward, you should expect to see the last 2 phases rolled out by the end of the year. Once again, huge shout out to Wavelength for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.